Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am reacting to what if the French Empire returned today. And I'm going to say that obviously the French Empire wasn't, I don't know about population, but I definitely know that it wasn't big in area, especially in terms of other empires. So, for example, like the British, it wasn't as big as that. But today I'm going to react to this video and see, some history and stuff about the French Empire and what would it be like if it returned today. So let's react to it, shall we?
This video is made possible by Dashlane. Stay safe on the internet for free by signing up for Dashlane at dashlane.com/RLL. When you think about France today, you usually think about this France in Europe, but France is actually all over the place, like here in North America, here in the Caribbean, here in South America, here in the Indian Ocean, and over here in the Pacific Ocean. 18% of France's entire territory is actually located in all of these places that aren't Europe, and the reason for that is because of empire. You see, France used to be a much more outgoing country than it is today, so they took over a bunch of places that aren't France.
That's true.
Eventually, these non-French places decided that they were, in fact, not part of France, and France let all of them go except for these scattered places still left over today. But what if all of a sudden, overnight, all the territory that used to make up France's colonial empire suddenly became French again? How would that affect modern-day France? Colonial empire suddenly...
There's parts in Nigeria that was a part of... I knew India. And I knew this little part. And I knew Middle East, Siam, big chunk of Africa, some places all around here. But I didn't know that there's two spots in Nigeria that were part of the French Empire. I didn't know that.
Became French again. How would that affect modern-day France? And what would this modern empire in the 21st century look like? First, let's give back to France all of the territory that the French Empire controlled at her territorial peak in 1921, just after victory in the First World War. This includes Lebanon and Syria in the Middle East, an enormous chunk of Africa, and a significant part of Southeast Asia. Back in 1921, this empire had a population of 94,696,000 people.
Oh, wow. That's it? Wow.
Were about 5% of the entire world's population at the time. The center of the empire was located in European France itself. 41% of the entire empire's population lived here at the time. But this is far from the case today. A lot has changed in the century since, and today, this same empire with the same borders would be home to an enormous 505,188,000 people, over 5 times.
It's probably, to be honest, it's probably carried by Siam and probably the chunk of Africa. Because it's Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. Those are all big in population, and also, not that much in Africa, to be honest. Now that I'm looking at it, there's the Congo to Chad to, to Gambia to Algeria, so, yeah, I feel like most of the population would live here.
Greater than the population in 1921 and roughly 6.5% of the world population. However, European France would only account for 13% of the entire empire's population today, largely due to massive population increases across Africa and Asia over the past century. Now Vietnam is the single largest country inside of the empire's borders, taking up 19% of the entire population and being home to about the same number of people as lived across the entire French Empire in 1921. When taking a look at the geographic population spread of the whole empire today, 5% live in the Middle East, 13% in Europe, 23% in Southeast Asia, and the vast majority of 59% live.
Okay, I was wrong. I was close though. I knew Africa and Asia would definitely be it. So, I don't know.
In Africa. Despite none of these areas belonging to France today, the historical influence of France across all of these countries and even beyond can be seen by the continuing importance of the French language. 29 countries across the world maintain French as an official language, and 13 of those maintain it as the only official language. 7 countries in Africa have a majority of their population that can speak French, while 11 more have significant minorities where at least a quarter of the people can speak it. In total, French would still be the most commonly understood language across the modern empire, with 31% of everybody being able to understand it. Arabic would be the second most common language, with 24% understanding it, while Vietnamese would be the third best understood language at 19% understanding. Hundreds of other languages would be spoken across Africa and Asia as well, while the religious beliefs of the empire would also be very diverse. 43% of the population would adhere to Islam, 24% would be Christians, 6% would be Buddhists, 7% would be a mixture of various different faiths, while 20% would follow no religion, largely due to the trend of irreligion in France and the state-sponsored atheism of Vietnam. Across the entire empire, these would be the 10 largest cities, with the top.
Okay, so we got Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. Paris, obviously. I'm pretty sure this is a city in Morocco. Capital of Vietnam right now. Capital of Algeria. Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire. This is the second most populous city in Algeria. City in Tunisia. This, I'm pretty sure, is the capital of Cambodia, and this is pretty sure a city in France. I'm pretty sure. It just gives me that vibe with the name Lyon, or however you say it.
5 being Algiers, Hanoi, Casablanca, Paris, and Ho Chi Minh City as the largest. France alone has a nominal GDP today of $2.9 trillion, which is the 7th largest in the world. But the addition of all this territory would boost that economy up to $3.9 trillion and transform it into the world's 4th largest economy, just barely ahead of Germany, but remaining behind Japan. And finally, there's the military power of this new empire to consider. France already controls the largest military in the European Union, with the 6th highest defense budget in the world. She is one of only 10 countries to currently possess an aircraft carrier, possesses an additional 10 nuclear-powered submarines, and perhaps most importantly, she controls the 3rd largest nuclear weapons arsenal in the world, possessing approximately 300 warheads. That being said, this added territory, people, and their existing militaries and equipment would supercharge the already powerful French military to staggering proportions. All combined, the French Imperial military would boast 2.1 million active duty troops, the largest such number in the world, and would in addition have 3.8 million reserves, for a total military size of 5.9 million soldiers. This would be a ferocious military that could probably take on mostly anybody in the world besides maybe the Americans or the Chinese. But there's one more interesting thing we can do to experiment here. Just for fun, here's some things that would happen if we added in all of the territory that the French colonial empire once controlled in North America and the Caribbean. This includes huge parts of both the United States and Canada, as well as both Haiti and the Dominican Republic. 77 million Americans, 25.2 million Canadians, and 21.5 million people in the Caribbean would suddenly find themselves as French subjects, which would boost the total empire's population up to 628,969,000. But what's more interesting than that are the economic results. The American territory alone adds nearly $4.2 trillion into the French economy.
I mean, that's so much. To be honest, I feel like, when the Europeans arrived, it was like this part. I'm pretty sure they're French. And then I'm pretty sure this is Louisiana. I'm pretty sure. And obviously it's going to bring it up to 420 trillion or 4 trillion, just this number, because big chunk of US and Canada. And obviously Quebec and all these other smaller provinces of Canada would be in it too, and a bunch of different states. This was the 13 colonies of Britain, or the US. I don't really know what timeline this is. this was Spain, and this would be also Spain. Well, now it's just U.S. and then U.S. and then this is Canada, but back then it was Britain and Spain all over the place surrounding it. So, yeah. And that explains it. That definitely this big chunk, and oh, I forgot about they added this. Well, obviously they would add that because Haiti was controlled by French, and I'm pretty sure they won against the Spanish in over here. And then obviously it would boost it up because it's a big chunk of North America, so yeah.
Economy. A higher amount than the entire collective empire's GDP was to the 1921 borders, and with far fewer people. With this and the other new Western territories, the French Empire's economy now stands at nearly $9.2 trillion, surging far ahead of Germany and Japan, but still remaining beneath China and the United States. Perhaps even more bizarrely, the loss of this massive amount of territory for America still wouldn't be enough to knock it down even one place in the list of the world's largest economies. In effect, America could give back to France all of the territory that it gained from the Louisiana Purchase and still maintain its position in the world as the largest global economy at over $15.2 trillion, even if France hired the world's greatest hackers and cheaters to steal America's land. It still just wouldn't be enough. Giant France would still just be the world's third largest economy. While your land probably can't get stolen by crazy French government hackers, a lot of other stuff can. That's why whenever you make an account online...
That's not red. That's not red. This is red. Blue, white, and red is what I meant.
And you should really make sure that your password is more complicated than this, or you could lose your stuff to hackers who may or may not be French. You really should have...
That was a good video. I've already liked it, but that was a good video. Especially just the music at the end was funny.
And it's still
just the music in the background. That's funny. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed me reacting to What If the French Empire Returned Today. And so when you're seeing that, I just want to say something. That when you're seeing this, you uploaded this on Christmas. When you're seeing this, it will probably be Monday. Maybe Tuesday. And that's because by the time you're seeing this, if it's Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to be away, so I won't be able to record. I do have another video ready to go out about Thursday or Friday, but after that I won't be able to record for like a week or two maybe because I have to unpack and everything else. So yeah, I'm going on vacation. I do have another recording set up, so you guys don't get bored. I mean, there's other YouTubers, but you guys don't get bored of me reacting to good videos and me giving horrible reactions. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all whenever I next upload. I don't know when this is. Bye.